Hi everyone, Jen Pike here, the host of Simplicity TV and the founder of the Simplicity Project. Today is another one of our Mindset Monday episodes, and I have two guests on the show today. Well, one, Charlie, you see all the time, but my husband, Chris, is joining us on the couch this morning. He's really excited to be on camera this morning. And the reason that Chris is here is I've been getting a lot of questions. I mean, I think I've had them probably over my whole career. But how I got my husband on track with eating healthy and movement, and then how that transferred into when we became parents and had our children, and really that transition of bringing everything that we do for ourselves into their lives. So, question number one.
Jennifer and I have been together for 21 years.
Yeah.
And I think when we've met and gone through our journey together up until today, we've always had a vision of how we wanted to bring our kids up and our own lifestyle being healthy and moving forward with how we wanted to bring the kids.
And how we wanted to feel individually. So when you grew up, like meat and potatoes, boiled vegetables, you know, not very different meals, kind of the same thing all the time. And like you were an athlete growing up. You were football was the main thing. But tell your story about how, you know, growing up you were eating how many bowls of cereal a day, having tons of milk, what was going on, and then you made that transition before I even met you.
When I was grade 9 or 10 or so, I had a lot of acne as boys are going through puberty. And one morning I was sitting down with my mom having breakfast, eating my second or third bowl of cereal. Mm-hmm. And we were talking about it, and I said, or she said to me that, what if you do what your Uncle Michael did and tried not to have any milk?
Yeah.
Because that was my major source of dairy. It wasn't yogurt or all this other stuff. Mine was milk in my cereal, and I'd come home from school and have 2 bowls of cereal and
start your day with 2 bowls.
Yeah,
and
like it was,
yeah, you're going through bags of milk, and so you stopped, and then
and my acne 100% cleared up.
Yeah.
It was almost overnight.
And so I think that's one of the things too, is you'd already had an experience where you created a positive shift in what you were eating, and you had these dramatic results. So when we got together, I mean, it was never, oftentimes people think, you know, do you give them an ultimatum? Like, you're not allowed to eat this, you're not allowed to eat that. It was never that. It was just, I ate the way that I ate, Chris ate the way that he ate, and then when we came together, and I think even more so when we started to live together, I was doing primarily the cooking, and you were just really easy. You were like, well, if you're preparing it, I'm gonna eat it. But then we would go out, and the first thing you would wanna order would be
steak.
And then you'd eat the steak, and then how would you feel?
I would feel good. Like, I mean, I would feel sluggish, tired. I'd want to go to the bathroom, and then I felt fine.
Yeah, but your body was like, get me out. Yeah, yeah.
What did you just feed me?
Yeah. Obviously, you know, we planned our children, and so in talking about that and how we would raise our kids, and even, I mean, during the pregnancy, it was just, for me, being pregnant was, I didn't use it like a lot of people do, where it's like, I'm pregnant, I'm eating for 2, you know, I can eat whatever I want. I looked at it like, I'm creating another life, and I want to put as much life force into this little person that's growing inside of me. And so we ate really clean. I mean, my first trimester with both the kids, my stomach was off a bit, so truth be told, I ate lots of tops of muffins, and that's when I ate lots of cereal. I couldn't even get salad in, or any source of protein. But I mean, after that, it was really clean and healthy. And then when we had our kids, that we didn't even really have to have big conversations. I think we both had that attitude of feed them food as close to its natural source as possible.
Yeah, eat real food.
Yeah.
And that's still a thing we say to them today.
Mm-hmm. Yes and no. So I mean, it's interesting, right? Because they typically, when the food is there, we have a salad every single night, and our son Sam, for a long time, every night it would be, oh my gosh, another salad. Can we just have one meal without a salad? Because we do things like we order pizza, we go to restaurants, we have, healthier forms of faster kind of takeout food, but we would still have a salad with it. Our daughter Emerson, her vegetables are the first thing gone on her plate. Sam, he's particular. Raw vegetables gone. Cooked, it's a bit different, but.
And he'll eat salads. He'll eat your what's it, Boston lettuce?
Crunchy romaine, iceberg, and then we throw some of the greens in it. But for them even too, it's, and again, they've grown up with this since birth. They've absorbed a lot of the information, even though they might challenge us sometimes at home. When we hear what they're telling their friends to eat, or times when they've wanted to come on camera, or we hear them when they're at a friend's home what they've had and eaten, they know and understand what the good things are and the not so good things.
Yeah, and they know when they go out, we'll say, did you have fun? What'd you eat? And they'll be like, well, we had water. So-and-so had hot dogs or hamburgers. I had something else, or I tried it.
Yeah.
And it's not, oh my gosh, why'd you try it?
Yeah.
I was like, so how'd you like it? I think, I'd say 99% of the time, they've said, I didn't even like it.
They're curious. And so because we don't have any junk food and stuff like that a lot of their friends have in our house, we allow them to quench their curiosity. So they go to birthday parties. We don't say no. I've had lots of moms reach out to me and be like, oh, what do you do at birthday parties? And I'm like, our kids go to birthday parties and they eat what's there unless it is something. And most of the parents are great. A lot of them know what I do for a living. So they'll say, are there any food restrictions? And so many kids now have allergies and that parents are always asking. But, we let them go. They have the cake, they have whatever. And they've gotten to the point where they'll come and tell us, I had too much sugar, or I feel my blood sugar is low. Like, they've been able to recognize when they have a little breakdown, or they are tired, they're grouchy, they don't feel good, that either they haven't drank enough water.
That's the big one.
Or their food is the connection to it. And I think as parents, that's really been the biggest takeaway and blessing for us, is that we've taught them, we don't talk to our kids about calories, like macros, those types of things. We don't put this fear of getting fat, any of that stuff in their head. We've taught them nutrition, nutrients, and what your body and your brain and your mood and your mind require to feel healthy and feel your best. So now they've started to recognize when they have certain signs or symptoms, they will directly correlate that back to how have I treated my body.
I think that being married, obviously you have to support each other, and your journey is going to go far beyond the years of now. And if you're going to be successful moving forward, no different than your wife helping you, you have to help them. And if it's going to benefit your wife, your family, your kids, why wouldn't you try it? You have absolutely nothing to lose.
I want to say thanks to you for coming on, because I know how much you love being on camera today, but I think that so many people just have this idea from the outside looking in that we are different from other families and that we live this almost sterile, healthy, perfect, holistic lifestyle. And we really don't. And that's why we invite people into our house. I have cooking classes. I host lots of workshops here so that you can get a glimpse and see we're not any different than you guys. We shop from different companies. We go in a different aisle at the grocery store. We've just made the things that we put into our body a priority versus, like if you were to ask us where we spend the most of our money, it's in the food and the activities and things we do for our body and our health. It's not in our stuff. We don't have a bunch of toys and all of that. It's not one of those things that's high on our priority list. How we feel and function day to day is, and that I think has been one of our biggest things we're trying to get across to our kids too.
And I think it's easier if you start your kids now or yourself, because we all might feel okay right now. Who knows what's going to happen in 10 years, 15, 20, because it's going to compound.
Yeah, and there's no, there's this saying, and I'll paraphrase it, but it says something like, the best time to begin was the first day, the next best time is right now, today. And that's what I would say to you is, regardless of where your starting point is, just begin. Start to get more water in, get more sleep at night, add something green in, have the conversation as a family. Don't be like a militant person about it and tell everyone how things are going to be. Have the conversation and come up with a strategy and a plan for your family together so that everybody feels like they get to choose, they get a say, and they get to be a part of it. Yeah. Awesome.
That's good.
Good stuff.
Thank you.
Charlie's letting us know we're done. Thanks, everyone. Wishing you more simplicity and more ease in all that you do. See you next time.